Hey guys, it is Wednesday night here in the Philippines and it is time for us to do our premium exclusive unboxing, and tonight we're featuring Mini GT. We're unboxing their brand new BMW M4 Liberty Walk in, well, I was going to say Petty Blue, but they call it light blue. And then I also brought out a old Mini GT release, but it's a new vehicle for me. It's their first GTR ever released, and it's also in the light blue. And the reason I brought out all the Richard Petty cars, just to show you guys how close Petty Blue is to this Liberty Walk blue that they're using. And then I also brought out a regular stock Superbird in Petty Blue, and you can see like some shade variants in some of these cars, so it's kind of hard to tell if like the light blue from Liberty Walk is spot on with Petty Blue, because even like some of the die cast varies. The only ones that are pretty much identical are the Hot Wheels released vintage racing Petty cars that you see right in front of you. Now, some of the other ones are variations of like maybe a shade lighter, shade darker, something like that. But I'll let you guys be the judge, and we'll take a quick peek at all the Petty cars. I've got something from every decade, the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. I'm just lacking the 90s, and that would be it. But I'm not sure if... I think Petty did drive up until like 92 or something like that. But anyways, I only have these 4 decades, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Then I brought back my Liberty Walk Lamborghini Aventador, and there's already a Lamborghini Huracan Liberty Walk in light blue that's being released now as we speak, pretty much. So hopefully I'll be getting that one soon too. But tonight we have the 3 Liberty Walks and then these 6 Petty cars and 1 stock Superbird. So let's start with our showcase cars, and that is going to be Mini GT, Liberty Walk, or LB Works, BMW M4 in baby blue. And this is collector number 192. You have your Liberty Walk emblem up here in the one right corner, Mini GT in the left hand corner, and this is your typical old school box. This isn't one of their newer style boxes. Collector number 192 on the top. On the bottom you have your warning, choking hazard, your age recommendations, because it is a collector's model and not really a toy, not suitable for kids under 14. This end cap, you have Liberty Walk and their logo. Then you have the Mini GT logo, affiliate company of TSM model. On your back side of the box, you have your UPC code that states Liberty Works, LB Works, BMW M4, baby blue, left-hand drive. Where to find Mini GT on Facebook and on Twitter. Your TSM model holographic sticker, and this one does have your serial number, unlike the last one that we looked at over the weekend, the Toyota Supra. Then this one also has a holographic sticker for BMW licensing, and then all of your licensing for BMW and Liberty Walk. So let's get him out and take a look at him. And as usual, they come wrapped in plastic cellophane when you get these Asian Euro releases, and they come in this nice little plastic tray to keep them from sliding around in the box and getting damaged. So, let's get this guy up in the spotlight and look at him. Really cool looking car. And this, as I said before, I'm not a huge Beamer fan, but I do love these Liberty Walk M4s. The i8s are okay with the Liberty Walk kit, but I think the best looking one is this M4 because it just has that muscle car appearance to it, in my opinion. It reminds me of like a 2004 to 2006 GTO or like a Holden. Looks very muscular looking with this wide body kit on it. It looks really, really badass. I like it a lot. Then it has the Rising Sun Japanese thing there, and it also has that phrase on the side. And once again, SJC77, Graham told me this when I unboxed the white silhouette GTR a couple months back, or maybe a month back, because I read the phrase, imagine a world where all the people live in peace, something like that. Actually, to be honest with you, it's hard to see here, but yeah, we're like, just imagine a world where everyone lives in peace, something like that. But he pointed out that's one of the lines from the Beatles song, Imagine. So that was like something that I didn't catch when I was unboxing that silhouette Liberty Works GTR, and he pointed that out to me. And once again, thanks Graham for pointing that out, because now I'm noticing it on a lot of their cars. It's on this one, and then it's on the first release GTR, which we'll look at next, and it's on a lot of the black ones, white ones. It didn't really matter, and it's the same line. So the guy that owns Liberty Works, Mr. Cato, he must be into the Beatles, or maybe there's some other reason why he put that line on the car. But anyways, that's what is written in very small print across the door on most of these. So then you have your Liberty Walk on the quarter panel, and then your Liberty Works or LB Works emblem on the fender. Your flared out front fender, your flared rear quarters, wide body, whatever you want to call it. I call it fender flares, wide body, whatever, same thing. Then you have your carbon fiber roof insert. Then you have your LB Performance limited sticker, banner sticker across the windshield. Your BMW emblem on the front header panel. Your iconic split grille with a lot of detail. Nicely done. Then you have your LB Performance under the driver's side headlight, and then your front bumper cover looks really good. Then you have, I guess these are like typical Forgiato wheels. I think it's kind of hard to get to look at them. That's what they look like, the other ones that were on the other two Liberty Walk BMW M4s. Just the one has a copper lip on the wheel, but I think it's the same thing as these, and the same thing that was on the white one with the light blue and red and dark blue stripes on it. So same type of wheel. Then you have your rear bumper cover that looks really good. Your dual exhaust outlets with double tips on each side, red acrylic Telly lenses, LB Performance on the bottom of the ducktail spoiler. Then your Liberty Walk license plate and another co-sponsor sticker on the rear bumper cover. Then you have detailed chassis, which is screwed down as usual. Nicely detailed muffler. The mirrors are rubber but very rigid, so be very careful with this one. I would say that they would break fairly easy. So really nice car. Excuse me. So now let's go to the GTR. Unfortunately, I don't have the box yet. I got this from one of my friends, and what's kind of ironic about this is this was my first mini GT car I ever bought, and then I decided to get out of JDM and stick strictly with Mopar and chase stuff. But then I started getting back into Mini GT when I started making videos. And about 3 weeks ago, I met up with him, and he asked me if I wanted to trade for these back, and I did. So I traded him some Hot Wheels JDM stuff, non-Nissan JDM stuff, like Toyotas and Subarus and such things like that, for this guy and the white one. They were my two very first Mini GT cars. Now I have it back, so that's really cool. I wanted to get this one back, but what's really cool is it was the first Mini GT car that I've ever bought, so I've got him back in my collection, so that is really cool. So it is really a nice piece, and as you can see, it's the same phrase on the door, if it would stay still. Imagine all of the people living life in peace. So there you go. That's the phrase. I couldn't read it really good on the Beamer. And then you have your Forgiato co-sponsor decal on the bottom of the door. A lot of your other people that take part in these Liberty Walk performance kits, and then your Liberty Walk body kit and so forth. Then typical thing of all the GTRs, your acrylic headlight lenses, your writing on the hood, and then you have your intercooler in the front, and of course the Forgiato wheels. And this one also has very stiff mirrors. I don't even think these are rubber, these are plastic. So, and this is a right-hand drive release. So, as I said, when I buy these, if I can't get left hand, I'll settle for right hand. It's not going to stop me from buying the die-cast. I prefer left hand because that's how they are in America. But as we know with like R32s, it's not an option. Just like the Camel Trophy Land Rover, it wasn't an option. So like if it's a strict race car where you would only have one of one in like the real life one-to-one scale, then they're not going to offer it in left-hand drive. But this one they did offer in left and right. But I got the right hand. So really cool with all the sponsored decals in the back window too. Your typical red acrylic taillight lenses, your Toyo Tires sticker, and then some other co-sponsor stuff across the back bumper cover. So really cool with the ducktail wing. So really nicely done. And it has a more subtle rising sun on the door than what the Beamer does. And now let's take out the Lamborghini again. This is your Aventador, and it has like more of a silver rising sun, whereas the GTR is more like a ghosted in blue than the Aventador, which was the second light blue Liberty Walk ever released. It has more of a silver. Then you have your Beamer M4 with white. The Huracan, that has, I think, a blue, or it may not even have the rising sun. I don't recall. I seen pictures of it because I forget his name on YouTube. It's My Mini Car Life or something like this. He's doing an unboxing video, and he had the Huracan, which I need to check that out later today if he's already made the video. I seen his post on Instagram, but he finally, well, not finally, he got the car, and I didn't even know it was like available to the public yet. So it's not available here. It's available in mainland China right now. I can get it from some hobby shops that I was holding out till we got them here because they're about $5 cheaper if I wait until they arrive in the Philippines. But if I get impatient, I can pay about $5 or $6 more and get it about 2 weeks to a month early. Which, if I don't have it available by the middle of March, I may do that. That's what I did with the Red Bull Land Rover. So if you guys are in the Philippines, that's always an option too. Look on Shopee or Lazada for Mox Toys. It's MOX Toys. And sometimes he's negotiable on certain things, sometimes he's not. But he does get stuff like really earlier than even sellers on eBay. So I don't know how he does it, but he does get stuff extremely early. But anyways, as you can see here, guys, the Petty Blue with these Liberty Walk light blues looks very, very close. Now, I'm going to bring you the stock Superbird from Johnny Lightning. So a little small and skelly, but really cool looking car. Even to me, like the steel wheels, the wheel color looks a slightly bit darker than the body color. Then if you put it next to the Liberty Walk, in some lighting, they look the same. Some lighting, the Liberty Walk looks a little bit darker. Now, if you put it next to the Hot Wheels Petty Blue, it's not so obvious on the camera, but the Hot Wheels one is darker. Then you have, that's the vintage racing. Then you have the Hot Wheels Hall of Fame 67 GTX, and it's a little bit darker too. Then you have the Hot Wheels 100%, which is really dark. This is his 56 Oldsmobile, and it is like very, very obvious that it is much darker than the others. Then you have your 84 Grand Prix from Winter Circle Racing Authentics, and it's almost a little bit lighter than this one. So, anyways, let's match them up with the Liberty Works, or Liberty Walk, LB Performance, LBWK, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, it does look pretty close. And as I said, sometimes black trim, the lack of chrome, and the lack of white can make the light blues look darker than what they are, as we noticed on the Jeeps. Should have brought them back out, because that Chief Blue looks really, really close to Petty Blue. Actually, it looks more close to the Liberty Walk Blue. But Liberty Walk Blue, Baby Blue, and when the GTR, I wish I had the box for the GTR to show you guys, but with the GTR it says light blue. It doesn't say baby blue. I don't think, anyways. One of them says light blue. I can't recall. Maybe it's the Aventador, but didn't bring out the box for him either. So, anyways, we'll just call it baby blue, since they have a real name instead of just calling it light blue. LBWK Baby Blue looks a lot like Petty Blue. So that's why I brought these guys out, because you can kind of put a Richard Petty car, LB Works, Richard Petty car, then LB Works, and then Richard Petty car, and then LB Works. Now this guy, the Pontiac, or Oldsmobile, sorry, really is not so, I don't know, relevant for this matter, because it is much darker than these other ones. So we'll put him off to the side, since he doesn't really fit in, but he does fit in because it's a Petty car and it's from the 50s. Only Petty car that I have from the 50s, and actually the only time I heard of Petty in the 50s. I know his dad Lee Petty raced in the 50s, but I didn't know Richard did. So there you have it, guys. A bunch of light blue cars. This is like my having the blues on hump day episode, I guess you could say. But it's the good blues. Richard Petty blue, and then your LBWK baby blue. So really they look really good together. All of them blend in like very, very nicely. And let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Like looking at the Torino, the 70 Bird Roadrunner next to the Beamer. Then you have the Torino next to the Aventador. Then you have your 67 Plymouth. And then your 2009 GTR. And then your 70 Superbird. And they look really, really good together. It's like JDM, Euro, Exotics, and then American Muscle and NASCAR are all blended in together. So it looks really cool. So, anyways, I'm going to give you a spin around on this one, because I don't think we unboxed this together, and I don't know if you've seen this car yet. But this is your, I believe it's Hot Wheels Hall of Fame. It may not be. It may be actually one of their NASCAR releases. But it is an all-metal casting. Metal base, metal body. So it is a more of a premium line. But it does have plastic wheels on it. They're very specific NASCAR plastic wheels. But still yet plastic and not rubber. And then they're lacking a lot of detail on the front, because usually these cars would have had still yet their chrome bumper, silver grille. The headlights would have been painted over or blocked off with either a piece of aluminum or maybe a piece of like sheet metal painted body color. So that would have maybe been right. Same thing with the tail lights. So That could have been correct if the tail lights blocked off, but I would have said that the bumper would have been silver and the back of the deck lid would have had some kind of sponsor, STP or something on it. So this car could use some highlight detailing, and maybe when I get back to the States I will attempt that, but here I just don't have enough tools and things like that at my disposal, so I'll wait till I get back to the States. But it is a cool piece. As I said, it's nice that it's all metal. It's not like one of the cheaper cereal box releases where it's like metal body, plastic base, and then really not much detail at all. Even the plastic wheels, if you look at it, are a little bit more detailed than usual. They do look like your still NASCAR wheels. And then you have your Goodyear #1 tires, Eagle. So, looks pretty good. As I said, just wish I had a little bit more detail. I can live with the plastic wheels. I just wish I had more front end and rear end detail. But those are all my Petty cars, guys. That's all that I have in my collection. But at least I have one from every decade. And I don't do a lot with the 90s NASCAR stuff, so I probably had the opportunity to get one of his 90s NASCARs. But as I said, I think he retired in like between 90 and 92, something like that. And then you had John Andretti racing for him, I believe, as who took over. Maybe it was somebody else between Andretti and Petty, but anyways, yeah, that to me was the last like race car that Petty had is in the 80s, the Grand Prix, when he was still like winning races and a notable driver. So anyways, that's why I stopped there. I have 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And plus, as I said, usually the 90s isn't old enough for me. So 80s is, but 90s. I typically don't buy collectible NASCAR stuff from the 90s. Now, I do buy some like 90s muscle car, JDM stuff, but not so much in the NASCAR. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and this weekend we will be back, and speaking of later muscle cars and stuff, we're going to be taking a look at some 80s G-bodies. I haven't done a video on G-bodies since I first started last January or February, so it's about time we do an updated video. We're going to be looking at some 80s GM mid-size muscle, and I don't have any F-bodies, unfortunately. No IROCs, no 80s Camaros, no things like this. So we're not going to be featuring any of that, but we will be featuring Grand Nationals, 442s, Monte Carlo SS's, and such. So we'll even bring back maybe the Petty Grand Prix, because I think that's the only G-body Grand Prix I have. But anyways, that's what we're going to do this weekend. Look at some muscle from the 1980s from General Motors. So guys, if you have not subscribed yet, please remember to do so. Please give me a thumbs up. Please tell your friends about my channel and share the video. Please leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think about the shades of blue, if you think they match. So anyways, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you this weekend.